It's an election year. So come on, where draw Tiffany, free man temune, from man temna, for Wasaba. Not information, but I make all my hand. First question, baby, no. What problem? As I'm another loophole. No administration or Manamuntuana.
MPP Amanda. Oh my man, I'm more share or more feeding case. So, and yeah, 12 by Kufa to be loose. And then, 12 on be loose. And pious day, you almost surveys, almost reports only behind the case to a defeat.
Okay.
That is how come Jen Mensa can't make it. Register because of intent or more to suppress votes across
the intent is to suppress.
It's to suppress votes. Well, mind there is no legal justification for the agenda.
But
oh, so you better send me your lawyer. You better so you will delve into it. A year, and now a year pedestrian. Say, is you a lawyer? So okay, say the register ID cards, no, a poison tree and our fruits of a poison tree. And the pious sorti here. He is a beneficiary of a poison tree. President Akufo-Addo administration, a beneficiary of a poison tree. District assembly elections here, referendum here. And over the years, from Abu Ramadan, RBCN, the Supreme Court has made it very clear. The attempt to think say we are independent, no. The Supreme Court answered that question in Abu Ramadan. So it is true that we are independent.
When he directed them back.
Yes, it is true, so we are independent. But Article 42 of the Constitution, actually, who is to be registered as a voter? Article 42 doesn't tell the EC, say, EC may determine who a Ghanaian is. Or say you must be 18 years and above. You must be of sound mind and you must be Ghanaian. To be of sound mind, it is not the EC
to determine that.
And they determine who is of sound mind. There will state institutions are the same constitution now deriving power from, no? And almost to me to determine who is of sound mind. To be 18 years and above, it is only the birth and death registry. And the what's out to me, no? No more issue with birth certificate. They determine say where the 18 and I say only 18. And most importantly, to determine who a Ghanaian is, the Constitution, Chapter 3 of the Constitution, are listed how one can obtain citizenship and who a Ghanaian is. Okay. So as I say, so offer is in the argument say we are independent. In Abu Ramadan, the Supreme Court said yes, we are independent, but your independence falls within a certain limits, and it must be enforced by the Constitution. And they even made reference to Marbury versus Madison, 1803, the famous Supreme Court case of America, and the ruling bar down. So this argument of independence, and even in the Abu Ramadan case, the Supreme Court went on to say, this is not new. In Tenadi versus the AC made that same argument of being independent. The Supreme Court shuts it down. Unfortunately for us, and then we are all a bit on the edge because this current Supreme Court seems to be doing something new. Because if there was certainty of law, say what we are used to, and I believe this argument will not even arise about this Supreme Court and these EC issues. But this Supreme Court, okay, Ken Bond decision now Supreme Court on issues of conflict of interest. Now, what kind Office of the Special Prosecutor judgment nearby now? Ama young students of law, for instance, we are a bit witchery. So, because if the principles have already been established, and then you can say without any doubt, so on this matter, the Supreme Court has ruled in this way already, especially on the issue of independence, and even on the issue of an unclaimed register, a register that is tainted. The Supreme Court in Abu Ramadan, they can say, when there is a statute that determines how something should be done. For instance, Ebia Yawambra said constitution, out of the constitution, they are forming acts. So when there is a statute and then it has been prescribed, say wait here, this is how you cure it. You refer back to the statute. It is in Abu Ramadan judgment. So as I say, so if there is a tainted register in Abu Ramadan, the Supreme Court said, it is not to throw away the whole register, but there is a procedure
go through
law the cleaning register. No? So go through that procedure. So this argument has been debated before the Supreme Court. This same argument, Jane Mensah has been debated before the Supreme Court and has been settled. Unfortunately for United, nobody knows what the Supreme Court will do. Because now, the current decisions that are coming from the Supreme Court, it is like we are rewriting the laws again. It's the end of my debate about it. But if Sanka, Supreme Court, this will not have even started a debate because the Supreme Court has already ruled on this matter. But yet, but
what's the difference between the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court?
Because
the Supreme Court.
And I said the Supreme Court can review its decisions. But when there is no certainty of law, because you must be certain, say, 1 + 1 = 2. It is only when there is certainty of law, and I may know you need GDA and one anymore. It is also around a panel court. Only say because of the precedents that are nominated, while sending the task, so that you don't go and waste your time in court. But I'm telling you, say, 2 decisions from the Supreme Court, 3, the decision on the U.S. military agreements, the Office of Special Prosecutor arguments, and also the Ken Bond issue. That was before the Supreme Court for 3 years, almost 3 years. The Supreme Court comes out with a decision, said they didn't have jurisdiction. 3 years. So, now you're a student of law. For me, my difficulty is that I don't know what the Supreme Court can do in this matter. But based on rulings like every Supreme Court, this is a non-issue, it's a non-starter. Because Abu Ramadan, it answered most of the questions on one tainted register. The argument of poisonous fruits are pious and President Nanado beneficiaries of no. If the register is tainted, like they are telling us, that CI 12, CI 97, were with some, it was tainted because they didn't know which documents that were used to register. But is the argument not even absurd? That the same institution from Aferijan, it was not Charlotte Osei who did this biometric register. CI 12 was passed by Aferijan. Aferijan is the same person who conducted President Kufuor's elections in 2000. Aferijan conducted 2004. Aferijan conducted 2008. Aferijan conducted 2012. And Aferijan exited in Charlotte Osei 2016. When we started this argument for biometric register, before it lead these arguments. In all our registrations we have done in this country, the premier facie evidence Nipa Dodona submitted to be registered was their ID card. The ID card of 1988. And then the DMBA 1992 Constitution. And you say the AEC has the mandate of compiling a register. Nobody has disputed that. And then revise it. For them, they are looking at revise in a pedestrian way. So revise means they can do new. But you see, the Constitution itself, and then subsequent cases that have gone before the Supreme Court, has told us the ID card now, as survey, as documents, Nipa be bring are ID on it, and they are registered, and they are taught by the presidents. Today, you cannot have a new register and say, oh, you new register. When we say that the register has, it's because of old ID card now or no. So it becomes your legal basis for registering again onto the new one. So it carries you through. That is how come we say the EC has the mandate to compile one register. I see. And then subsequently do other things. But
I see.
Which are no arguments, sir.
It means that you were name for I know an adjourn Mesaka EC adjourn Chilena or the agent more court to say the
poisoned.
No, but we a lawyer me even on the surface, the inverted commas are there, meaning that ABI sa to me kratana ni original so church to be a baby abano. Ordinarily, I think that poison food means that it was not the best means for us to do that. So again, the fact that there are any paper 2 and more local level elections, general elections. So we cannot rectify it if that is the case. But I'm the same. Assembly could be called to battle. But the only challenge I'm having this morning with your submissions is that some doubts based on how the Supreme Court, because
but it is not new. Everywhere in this world, there is a point in time we've been conservative judges, and then they begin to look at what affects judgments. It's not just the law. So at every point in time, the composition of the courts, when that Tibaim Mudibokran were at the courts, okay, omu decisions are no more bar. Today we are using at a point in time when Kluche and Co were there, they were using the literalist approach to interpretation. So if the law is easy must submit legal basis, that is what the law is. They don't go beyond looking at extraneous variables. Today, the majority of the judges at the Supreme Court are doing a modern purposive approach to interpretation. MOPA no. So it leaves room, even though the MOPA, there are limits, but it leaves room. So what is happening today?
Certainty is a challenge.
Exactly. What is happening today is that with the MOPA, it becomes like it is not the legislature that makes laws, but it's the Supreme Court that makes laws.
Okay, so Deputy Minister, already very good points. And what children you may be any so maybe I tell viewers. No, I'm sure says what follow Nyoma Wakano.
Nedika Minchia na Minchia ya Afyafoni na Nanope. Na Mfonina Modiaba before I share Incomodie National. And some of our Kafahon, many we are journey papa. Na me ensemble ensai entintimobium. Sreka kra mesre ne se sisi ade nipa ho akwa ho yehie mu epi ye besre se yenuanom na adomo ni wo mu a ye ma wo mutumi se nipa ho kwa ho yehie mu wo muto anamon na wo nso na se ne kakra no wo mu nye no ntem kwan so yentumi ka se ebi nipa enfum so nti anase edikanfo no efum so nti no se nipa ho akwa ho yehie mu krampo na ye benya ahwehanse nye ye na yaye na we nyina e kyerɛw sɛ Ghana yɛda ho ɛwɔ ɔhaw mu papa na ɔhaw a wo ho yi bɛyɛ 67 or 60 something years after independence abaya kɔ ne ayentumi anyɛ ne ayɛ akabo mu ɛno ho sunsuanso ɛna yɛ hu yi o na menua we no nyade a obetumi di mfie 9 pɛ ɛde ayi sa ɔhaw nyina ɛdi efri hɔ enunti na ho behia se Ghana for ebe ehu anamompaya aban a otu akonya so sese etu na wo mata na chi asamma no emre kakra ena ye kese infoni bi a wo yi ekire yen sese aye hu no nia ye de bo ye hu ensafohini se emma entu nyum emfra yen se ya ye Dubai e wo Ghana no Dubai no sunsuaso ne bi ena wo hu no me hu foni na me hu ni ayedi yes ye di Dubai abagana ayekofa esinetwafo every Nigeria omo be yi nkonwa edi mayen e wo secret ha no enu ensusuaso na wo hwe na oni kuro
be yi den nkonwa yen kan
pacha nkonwa no
o yen sen
pacha nkonwa
ana se me de me kana ibetwe na wo aka otumi ka me kuro mu kasa ba bia munya vote dodo no free nka otumi chia wo mu kasa mo kranka ye me ma be hia odia
that's what I be kasa
wonte enteno enu sunsuaso ni enteno ye besre ade ne de hia mo a ya hia emre esu de aka ho na ya ye na yesi ne ofru de apan na piano na me nua Pablo si ye to aba na MPP belu so na minim se bia ni turn na oko another country na Ghana ya ene 1.2 million Ghanaian children omo ewo secondary school omo awofo na nka ndisi fo na ti akonwa so a ansa na obabe call body house no obetua be 20 million sikadada no se call day school be 1000 10 million sikadada no ene 1.2 million Ghanaian children awofo enko me bia me free ye binom ye be call secondary school aje ye ton ebusia sase anase yakobo busia ene sade no akwansum na ye wo mu no ye frisa akwansum no mo mo apenso mudi yensan chichiri ewo yeche se mo akoji policy credibility every IMF ni World Bank enti yemfa ni pa ban dwuma mu ene education sector nkwa nanado ba ye nano yi ya fa be 100,000 nkrofo womu education sector Pablo o de Jimmy Penetre o de Pablo G Penetre meti ha no kano ni o kan nyina na ba kokura nya nokra me yakom ba kokura me ba kokura nya nokra ba kokura nya nokra ba me yakom ene ye fa nipa pi adwuma mu napco na ye wo kro yi mu no oman mu ye wo Association of Unemployed Graduates nkrofo wie school 3 4 5 6 years ye omunye adwuma ye napco nkian ye fa nipa 100,000 public sector we share Ghana living standard surveyor unemployment abafem employment koso wo ye man mu trimodinti muji allowances a yetua de ma ye nuanu muji a kire wo teacher training and nursing training yen yaba yabe restore enne wo ye Ghana doctor na wo pese wo kɔ wanim esan kɔ sua de a untua sempua anase tekumpo aban no agi saka no nanu ya covid-19 ba ye aban ya wo wotima e wa badaye nsuo ye di kyeyen ekane a ye di kyeyen mpo omma edu ne ehia no eduane kra ye nua ekyeye ene ye di stimulus package aba masa ye ko ahamu o ka sen so tobre nanu ya June 3 na nsuo to ena oja so femu e wo sekra ye nua no mo Pablo mu neti akonya so de na omutumi ye mesi sika kakra ye de be ma busuafo a omo kwa ho ehia mu nanu ya nanado dan kwakufa do ba ye ena ye pesika kakra e de ma ebusuafo ye ti krum ha cholera covid-19 ye global cholera ba ye nkrankia nipa be ye 200 na fam wu ye ORS eye enchini nsuo nanka diarrhea ba yetumi enumu krampo a ye to be 50 and 60 pesos aban a omo ebetwe mu ko ye Pablo aban ORS kura omo ntumi anchiche yeti krum ha dum so ba ye candle light ba akukura manfa ma obi se kona koso candle ba akukura mpo 4 years na ye da so mu ene aba dum so eni hobium na we nyina echi na wonunu hu sere se ye to aba na MPP belu so a me dem isere wo mu candidate kura no mo ntumi anto e wo mu party mu kura mpo a munya obi obeji pini se meka ne ho ama yakọ we selling of the candidate no kura ye di na mamo even within the party for somebody to agree say obeka ne ho na woni na akọ say running mate enu kura ye juma kese a eda mo so munya wie mu ni message mo se mu ye to aba Ghana for say ye huru ye nim nkosoro ye nim ne ekọ ye nim se na mebi atwemu mudi yakọ kwansumu papa Misrim Egypt amudi ye free ye no mudi ye kọ ye no na nado ye Mose no we ye free Misrim aye nam kwanso a ye kọ Kena enti no media me see register old one no new one no ye to abane NDC for we gali botoma ye di omochi be kafem adwuma pa no ene kasama ye
I see
adwuma pa no ene kasama ye ene o share sports and youth development infrastructure across the country simultaneously ye 10 e being see that we are that level of impetus into sports and youth development e being see da free Diego de Zambuja penso abesine when we are talking about truly unprecedented me see e being see that say Ghana for emanyina utumi ko secondary school ayentua sempuane teku e being see that from the days of yore Kwame Nkrumah na shasia enumpo wantumi anye Ghana nyina and Kwame Nkrumah is one of me see say ye Nana do dan kwaku for the Sinchia na Kwame Nkrumah na beba and say ye Kwame Nkrumah Sinchia Nana do na beba enti no yentumi nka say aba NDC for ebe ye so NDC for na register asemi menua minim say menua no wa shasia free ase ho enti me di be boss kakra na ekọ enim enye no krese NDC for woduna so omahini o kaida yayi ora yire Jane Mensa say obey electoral commissioner wo mu yi no July 23rd 2018 1 hour after yayi ora yire Jane Mensa say onu no ba be ye electoral commissioner no yen nuanom NDC for eka say omuni nti bi nye adwuma 1 hour Maminu want to nempo anko office. I can sign krata.
But what's wrong with that?
I am trying to establish to you, sir. Womunu Yaudie bi ewo mumu.
Men because you see, Jane Mensah Charlotte say criteria is the same. Right after Charlotte says announcement, the MPP never took it kindly. So those combinations, them foul. Let's get to the details.
Until Charlotte or say starting your mistakes be and I started
that cannot be entirely correct. Whether I'm trying for a week or a month, that's not the issue.
But if by a month or starting your mistake,
no, I'm saying whether I'm trying for a week or for but whether I'm trying for a second or a year. No,
okay, but what I wanted to do was to establish to you, sir. Niomu kano nyina so ni ho na eye nhihye every the very beginning
now just a minute you try 1 minute back kumra this year by between komodo. Well, Yasaba, it's just about 30 minutes to wrap up the show. This is Badwam on Adom TV, Multi TV. So audit service for the local government ministry na fe atwata the minim there, but Esutifi North. Just put your radar there. I think the
local government service.
Audit service, right?
Local government service.
Yeah. More for money a certificate of. I think there's much more there at the assembly. A lot of things are happening there. Contrary to assembly, now more rectify those challenges over there. Chief Bain SME Kancho quickly and send what our submissions so also Chief Bain is chow. Tell Pius to know that in the 5 up north regions, common publicity about COVID-19 was not done by his government. He should please get his first right on his party's position before Madam Charlotte was appointed. They said she was not a Ghanaian and also her appointment was based on sex. He should give us a break. Chief Baini and I can say it. So
no extended honeymoon na ye no no.
Chivani is always on
extended honeymoon. Debbie, I'm on extended
honeymoon. So back to the point, voter register. Voter register.
Voter register na America no. And yeti omayimo ayechire and say ye were new and old Supreme Court. I will not accept the invitation to, as it were, discuss the Supreme Court in bad light. Me feel say
man to say any dream yes I no person kire man ko sheda ko fa you know among yourself for more smart o ade o tire mu ha na o sade mfato ba abubu nipa bi di o ma pen
o kai kura no okura o ka say
afide o ma pen so ni abenfo bi apen so kwan na o mo fa so o mo bu o ma tan ni enti na o ye setting be ne nsuso ho aba ye hwe mra ne nko anfa mu aten
na wasema ye ken na me ka say I will not accept that invitation because e dangerous. Na NDC for strategy bebi omo be ko bia omo nim se enumguase etwa omo bia no omo di kan se omo be gu institution ho fi ene de ye ka kire yen se Supreme Court no enye wo mu na ye enye parliament na ye mra na se na Supreme Court age law making powers na share omo ho na wo di mra kwa na omo di bia be ka ho o frɛ bibi se o se mo power se de a na me de na me se mo pa na ya sorry
but modern purposive approach
we de mati me lawyer ntino afi do mo say Supreme Court no aye mo pa ntino enu de wo mo nkasa etumi dane asem we no is because omo edikan hunre ndada se wo hwe adwenichira Supreme Court edikoye me kan ye wo mo lawyers for have been papa
no mo lawyers have been
easy etre say owura yiri jimensa wonu ankasa oyemranim ni menu mi see wo hwe CI 72 na ye di etre register no in 2012 na enu kra no gina so say sir voter ID card no eni kwasa wo say you me use unim nia wo mo ye in 2012 wo mo ko parliament di CI ekoye see an extra documents udi beba to prove your eligibility. That was the CIO. And na electoral commission for fair training manual. Na training manual no mukra no omudi kan ka se ehu hiampo se obi di document ni beba omo say it is not mandatory.
Mandatory.
It was in their training manual. Now number 2, training manual no The smuggled documents are the Parliament of Ghana by CI did not sanction, for instance, birth certificate, any baptismal certificate. Okay, CI now. You are not allowed by the CI, parliamentary product, you know. You are not allowed to use your baptismal certificate to register. But Electoral Commission for accepting birth certificate, yes.
Did I hear birth certificate?
Yes.
Birth.
Yes.
Read the CIA.
I have read it in line in my card. There's no, it's not. Birth certificate and baptismal certificate, they were not in the CI.
Pius is being miseducated.
Oh, how?
Pius is being miseducated. The issue was that there were two documents, birth and then you come saying baptismal certificate. It was on the baptismal that there were issues.
Documents.
It was on the baptismal that there were issues. So I am a bit.
One camera. I'm saying to you, and I've just sent for the CI. The CI, no. The CI itemizes documents.
So what were the documents that were itemized?
Passport, driver's license, the old voter ID card, the guarantee form. 5 akabako. But in the CI, they added birth certificate.
In the CI?
No, in the training manual. They added birth certificate and baptismal certificate. These two.
I know the baptismal certificate was what the
Pablo, if you haven't averted your minds, averted your minds to the issuer, say you're a lawyer, but
bring the CI.
Yes, we're a lawyer, but
as for a birth set, nobody.
But it is not even.
Article 42 gives. Because
senior,
it must be 42.
Senior, it is not even just in the CI 72 that the birth certificate was not even listed. There have been 3 CIs. There is CI 12, there is CI 71, and then there is the 2016 CI. So it is not even in just the CI 72 that the birth certificate was not even listed. So I am saying to you that, okay, you grant it to me, okay, Pablo, assuming without admitting, say, the CI doesn't talk about X and Y documentation.
The argument is on the voter ID card.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Let's deal with
but it is the register that produces the voter ID card. So, Omahini, question I may be saying, Emranumono, say, Obi, Eddie baptismal certificate, or say baptismal certificate, there was a jail to no problem. And to Obi the baptismal certificate, Ebe trading. Now, your man who voter ID card, is that voter ID card legal? Because Parliament has not sanctioned the baptismal certificate, assuming he accepts even the baptismal certificate. But there were 2. So I'm saying that ab initio, no, there were major challenges with the old register. And the Electoral Commission is arguing that registration, no, constitution in Canada say for you to be able to register, for you to be able to register, no, you should have registered before. This is the registration manual. Oh. Ni omudi kan ho a eye we no intrama take birth certificate any baptismal certificate enu ni mame kan we no enchireo see I no enchireo o mi na no onfa see anu mom
okay
we just see anu mom but enye ye pia bontia me de be chiro e wo mi ka mu so unse ma take those two issues. Now, again, no, Electoral Commission Saka say, okay, Abu Ramadan case. Pablo.
I'm very abreast of
and then Ramadan. The Supreme Court said, Omudi National Health Insurance Card, register, yen yomudin frame. Electoral Commission say, Omo yomudin frame.
They deleted about 45,000.
Okay, Omo yeden who say, Asimesi, or you sue health insurance card and register.
I don't work.
Because this is the from A1. Pablo, this is the, we know, I was saying to me, Kanu Kreo. This is the form A1.
No,
from A1 in Sunni. Form you so no. From A1 in here. Form you so no. Bibi anywhere I just say Udi health insurance card in the register. And I say Udi baptismal certificate in the register. And I say Udi the driver's license in the register.
Okay, so your position is
but
that
2016
but you believe that so we should have a new voters register?
Yes. No
going by the Ghana card, 10 guarantees. Guarantors and then
absolutely, and then
the
passport. That's right.
That's
okay.
You cannot. You see, that is it is one of the most illogical arguments in the sense that you cannot have a registration exercise breeder document the basic requirement, the prerequisites, the prerequisite for that registration, less than 50% of your total population. Usually the breeder documents, 90% should have. And then the guarantee option, should cover just about 10%. So, Nipa Ekita passport Ghana into 2 million. Nipa Omowo national ID card into 10 million. Ghana card into 10 million.
It's 7. Now they are adding another 10.
Adams into 10 million. we are looking at registering not less than 19 million Ghanaians.
They are asking their process. I think.
And I'm saying we are looking at registering not less than 19 million Ghanaians. 18 million is on the current register. In 2000 and in the last registration, the limited registration, we told the EC they'll be registering about 1 million. They ended up registering about 1.2 million.
What did they use? Bisan said the 1.2. What breeder document did most of them use? Did they have voter ID card before? You just expose yourself. Last limited registration, Omo register 1.2 million. I agree. Na omukura voter ID card na ana omukura passport.
For first time voters.
The
law then was the CI that.
So what did they bring?
Deputy Minister.
They came with forms of identification.
What form?
But we don't only have just one exit point.
So that is what I'm suggesting to him. 95% of the registrants will register. Document but they registered. But they are telling people of Ghana say, who need identification I want to be registered.
Are you auto-immune this morning?
You see, that is what makes the argument even more absurd. And then the argument is expulsive. It's very absurd. Absurd in the sense for first time people who are going to register. The CI that was in force is not CI amateur controversy. It was the old CI now. The 2016 elections. No? That was the CI that was in force. And on many documents on the bar not paying. You could have provided your national okay, if I'm using this I may be wrong, but you could have used the driver's license, you could have used the passport, you could have used the national ID card. The card was not, so even national ID card could not have been part. So this document I doubt is authentic because national ID card was not even there for it to even appear on the trainer's manual.
A court doc sample, make a file court.
And I say, I don't know what year this doc exactly. It doesn't change because at that time, national ID card was not even in effect.
But it was even the CI.
National ID card was not even in effect.
You haven't followed the discussion.
So what documents did they use?
No one follow.
Well, yeah, but that DBS Industries for us, one of the same Mpensenpensenmu chance in Papa if you person board down. So DBS didn't chance you remember say DBS, yen krabata bi otakra de Kumasi. And open what going. Farm max for farmer because we know minister. Open energy and park and see
Minim say we are not Mafaba Kana Mama Pablo Suba. We